Hey guys, back once again with another episode of the NASCAR Heat Career Mode series for you today. My name is Rich, this is Gamer Life. Thanks once again to everyone for being here, it means a real great deal. And in this episode today we've got the short track of Bristol, the Food City 500, which is absolutely not something that I am looking forward to whatsoever. It's short track, don't typically go well at short tracks. We don't have a short track car, so anything could happen here today, really, absolutely anything. On top of that, it's 125 laps, it's worth nearly $250,000, which would be really nice. Recapping the last one very quickly, we got our top 20, as you can see, it's ticked there, so it's not really a spoiler, which is something that's going to be highly useful because we've got a short track now. The next track's a short track as well, I believe it's Richmond next, so I'm not expecting to get top 20s at all in either of these two races, which means there's big pressure on Talladega. So that's where things are standing in general at the moment. It is now time to jump further into the video, and we're going to start off doing that by having a look at our cars here. Being Speedway, we're actually coming off the back of a race as well, but the first car, the chassis we've been using, is actually the better one, which is quite surprising. So to negate the deficit of obviously being a short track, you can see already, even once we lose our -7, I believe it is, for not having the right kind of chassis for a short track, our car that we've been using is going to be better than using a new one. So that's what we're going to do. I mentioned in the last episode as well, looking at trying to improve the departments there, the engine, the aero and the suspension, but 9 million to bump it up to the 100, we're a long way off that yet, so it just makes more sense right now if we just push that to one side and we train up the guys that we've already got to the best of our ability right now. And once that's done, then maybe we save up for the 9 million and we just write off all of these short tracks this season, and the road courses as well I suppose would fall into that, and we continue just focusing on building up the team and doing really just the best that we can do with what we've got at the minute for the rest of the season. It's up for debate at the moment because, as you can see, we've got a long way to go yet in this season, which is actually really good for me, for the team as well, because I'm absolutely loving this game at the moment. We're just running now down the championship order before we head off to the circuit, and yeah, you can pause it, see where your favourite cars, drivers have finished and all of that good stuff. And yeah, once we've done that, it'll be time to jump into this race. Really apprehensive about it, to be honest, being the short track. It means there's less room, all the cars are closer together, but the most worrying thing for me personally is it's I can't get a car to handle around a short track and we just end up ploughing into everyone, into the walls. So yeah, for the next ones that are coming up, that's where you guys could probably come in and help me out with setups or something if you've run them and found them good for yourself, so we can go well at these even without the chassis. For either, well, it's too late for this one now, but actually, did I believe I did record the Richmond one as well, but I'm assuming at some point with so many races to go we'll come back to these tracks again. So yeah, anything that you could do to help setup wise would be absolutely great, because those of you who have been watching the other videos, which are incidentally up on the channel right now, every other race that we've done and how we come to choose the name, the car and everything that we've chosen, the colour schemes and all of that stuff. But yeah, if you guys could help me with that, that would be absolutely great. The setup things, maybe if you watch this race and I'm absolutely doing your head in because I'm on the completely wrong lines and all that stuff, again, the comment box. And if you don't want to leave it in the comment box, there's the Gamer Life Twitter as well. So yeah, there's a couple of ways that you could help me out an awful lot there, because I am still a complete rookie when it comes to NASCAR at the moment. All that being said though, it is now time to jump into the race weekend itself. It is Bristol again. It's a nice clear sky today, not much cloud or anything like that. So again, I don't know if that plays a part, but it's always worth mentioning, because it may just play a part at bringing the tyres in quicker, slower, anything like that. I don't know, that's again something else that you guys could potentially help me out with there in the comments box. As you can see, we've got people running practice laps and qualifying laps at the moment, and yeah, it's about our time to go out, I reckon. So before we do that though, I'll normally ask for predictions at this point and see who gets the closest to where we actually finish, and all good stuff like that. It has been just for fun in the past, and it still is, but what I'm thinking of doing is, if we can get them comments to start rolling in, is maybe do a little, I'll keep a tally of who's been closest X, Y, Z amount of times. And next season I want to change the driver, the name and everything, and I want to put a subscriber in as our driver, so then it gives the imaginary impression that we're just managing the team, and the driver himself can have the input. He can be in the car, he can choose the way that he looks. Maybe you could send me some pictures of your drivers on Twitter and I'll bring it as close to that as I can. And also, if it's a driver that wants to do that and go in that far, if they want certain setups on the car for certain tracks, then obviously I can replicate that as well. So that's something that I'm not 100% saying that is going to happen at the moment, but it's something I'm working on and thinking of. If it doesn't come in this season, maybe it comes in on the next one. So yeah, definitely do leave your comments either here or on the Game of Life Twitter about where you think we're going to finish, especially if you want to potentially see yourself in the car, maybe not next season but the one after. Here and now though, it's time for us to go and do our first lap, our build lap, and as you can see, struggling with the line already, and there we go, we missed the brake zone as well. So yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about. My cars just never ever feel great around these short tracks. Again, we're lucky there, we had to let off not to go into the wall. But yeah, this is going to be a quick lap, so 17 seconds is the goal. Well, 17.3. I don't for 1 minute think that we're going to get anywhere near that, but we'll see. 17.9 is actually not too bad. Whether that's a representative thing that we might be getting quicker or it's just a shorter lap, well, we're not going to know that till we go to different kind of tracks. But we're closer to the goal than we normally would be, and to be quite honest with you, 28 for us on single lap pace, that's quite encouraging. It wasn't the best lap, it was quite scrappy, so we could potentially have gone up even higher than that, which again is encouragement, but I'm not going to get ahead of myself. We've still got a whole race to do yet, and I don't for 1 minute think that we're going to do very well here at all. Not being defeatist, we're obviously going to give it our absolute best. It's just my general form around these places is really not good, but maybe on the other side of that as well, we can draw from Homestead, Miami. We had a really good pace there, and that's not something that I'm used to around there either, and the car felt good as well. So maybe we can draw some positives from there. But in any event, it's time for the story of the race. We got Kyle Busch, who's really fast, and I believe he's probably on pole, and we had a couple of guys, you wouldn't have saw it there, but I remember from recording it. Guy had to start at the back, so we got promoted a place or two, and we're now going green, start line for the first time of 125 laps of the Bristol circuit. It's got all the hallmarks of being a really chaotic race, just because, like I said, there's no room really on these tracks at all, and yeah, when it spreads there's just going to be cars all over the track for the whole race really, and yeah, we're just going to have to pick our way through. I'm thinking, whoa, that was really close. We did actually either scare the hell out of Reagan there or actually touch him. I'm not 100% still right now watching it back which one of those two it was, but yeah, he definitely got out of shape just as we did. I was actually really surprised by mid-corner and corner exit speed there. It caught me off guard, and it did for a few times as well in this lap. I just not used to it really. We can come off the corner so quickly, but we normally don't have that, and the car's holding its line really well as well around here, which is very rare. Normally if you've seen us do our first short track maybe, I will go into the corner carrying a bit of momentum and we'll end up shooting straight up to the top of the track. But that's not happening here at the moment. The first 5 laps I'm looking quite promising in terms of holding our line down by the apron. In terms of the way the car feels in general, and also our corner exit speed, see that it caught me out again. He's so much quicker than what these guys around us have got at the moment. So we might actually have got a good car here at the moment. But we've got to make the most of it. I sat in ready to do this race and Richmond. I only recorded the batch of 2 because of them both being short tracks and me feeling that I'm just not going to have a good time doing these 2 races. So I set myself the target of sitting down, recording the one straight away, going in, recording the other one after, literally straight after this race. And yeah, I've completely lost what I was going to say now. But yeah, this one really caught me out. So if you've seen those ones before, like I was on about, we end up towards the top of the track pretty much every corner, and cars just tend to shoot down inside. But like I say, it's not happening at the moment, so we've got to get used to the fact that we have potentially got a really quick car here. That was what I was going to say. I did sit in these races thinking it's going to be a long old time recording these 2, and we've just got to be really patient and not expect anything around this track and the next one. So yeah, that was my thinking. Just take our time, just try not to wipe anyone out was my main focus, and just see where we end up. But at the moment we're not doing too badly. We're in 12 laps in now, and we are in 20th, which is way higher than I expected we would be around here. And you can see that we are starting to gain a bit of confidence now as we went around the outside of a car on a corner at a short track. Me, are you kidding? I never thought I would see the day there, and we managed to make it stick as well. Clear air is only going to be literally for a couple of seconds at a time on this track, so we've got some at the moment. We've moved inside the top 20 and had the confidence to pull off around the, I suppose it's the higher line, but for me I'm going to call it around the outside. It just feels more natural, and we're going to take that way again now around the outside of the 88. We're sitting behind Logano. He's going to pull us along the straight, and we make it 3 wide around this corner here. This is absolutely, I swear to you guys, this is me driving on a short track. And we go again around the outside, and we start to find at the moment that just might be a much quicker way than sticking to the apron like we've been doing at the moment. And yeah, we might have discovered something new here. But if you look at the track map, whether we've done that too late or not to really make a mark in this race now, I don't actually know. But the confidence was certainly growing. It was getting better and better as we're going along. I'm placing the car, well, I feel nicely to myself. It's doing exactly what I want it to do at the minute. And again, our closing speed there, twice we have to get out the throttle not to go into the back of hill. We managed to do that. We get it underneath him, and we might get it underneath the 42, and we do, and we just slide up the track to cover that off so he can't have a run at us down the straight. And that is us up into P12 now, and this is absolutely crazy scenes for us here. As we come around to start lap 20 almost, we go and take P11 away as well. And at the moment you could tell that the confidence was just absolutely bubbling at this point. We get in Newman, it doesn't matter, we wait to see now where cars go, and this is an example of it here. We're a bit too far back, I think, but we're going to go for it anyway. Is there going to be enough room? We're going to be in the middle 3 wide for a split second there, but we get the place. We get outside Haley as well, pinch him to the apron. We love doing that move, as you know by now. And that is us now, guys, into the top 10. Just let that breathe for a second now. We're on a short track in our own car. We're not missing braking points and everything. The car's just absolutely handling a dream at the moment on a short track, and we're inside the top 10. Absolute crazy scenes. There's a big pack of cars here now though. You got Bush moving left, moving right, trying to find the room. And we've hit the back of Kozlowski really heavy there, and we do take damage for that as well. We are P8, but that's not typically the way that I do like to do things. Carter here has shoved us down onto the apron, which is never good. But for now, there's Kozlowski, quite aggressive on the outside, and I don't blame him at all. McDell's holding us up here so we can't get past, but he's gone high now to stop Kozlowski driving away, and we just feed it between the both of them. We pinch him really aggressive to the apron there, scrape the wall on the outside, and we leave Kozlowski behind a couple of lapped cars, and we are flying at the moment, guys. And to my surprise, I'm actually really enjoying myself now. As you can see, I've cut a few places. We continue just flying through the order. We're up into P4 at the moment now. As we come around to get over that start-finish line, we have to go around the outside of an entire pack there. I thought for a second Bolly was going to squeeze us to the wall. Thankfully he doesn't do that, and we get the place that we want in the track position. And now there is our first caution of the race. There was always going to be one. There's going to be a lot more, I reckon, as well, being a short track. Like I said, there's just cars everywhere, cars fighting for position, lapped cars, all of that. It will only take another probably 2 or 3 laps now off the restart before it starts spreading like that again, so you can just never get any clear air on these short tracks, and that was what I was worried about coming into it. So on the restart anyway, we've lost 8 places, which is never good, but I think that might mean now that we've took more fuel and more tyres than everyone else, which means that at the moment we're now out of sync with everyone as well, which has really threw everything up into the air. The car at this point, I remember it well, it started to feel just a little bit tighter than it was on the first run as we was going through these corners, and I just thought to myself at this point, let's just be patient again, because I didn't mention nothing, but the car was good straight off the line around here, which is another really weird thing. The tyres just came in, so again, I don't know if it's because there were bright clear skies before the race. I touched on that, and you can see now that I don't know if it's changed or not, or I've not been paying attention because of obviously driving, but there's clouds overhead now, and the car feels like it's just took that little bit longer for the tyres to come in. So I don't know whether that's just in my mind, whether that does come into things on this game or not, but it was definitely something to take note of just in case. But like a couple of laps later, we was in P4 before the restart. We're in P6, we're round the outside of Bell now as we come off the corner. De Benedetto's right in front of us, and I could just not slow down quickly enough. We'd built up so much momentum to take fifth away, sorry. It just sent us cannoning straight into De Benedetto there. Really unfortunate for him and for us, because we're probably going to start making enemies at some point doing 2 short races in a row. I hope not, but it's definitely a possibility. And at the moment we're now right up into P2. We got Bush out in front, and we are closing on him rapidly. So much so that we do look around the outside, but I thought better of it there, and we're going to do it here instead. Hopefully we can hold it like we have been doing, and we can indeed. We've got the line, we've got the momentum, and now you got the only thing now is that I was thinking at this point is we have track position, we have the lead, the car feels great, but, and there is a but now because of that caution, are we genuinely this fast, or are we using the benefit of fresher tyres than perhaps the ones that we've just overtaken? And also we cannot let up at all as we go for the tiniest of gaps there to get lap the number 9. That was really close. It was satisfying to watch though. We go around the outside of McDowell now as well. We were going to go around the outside of Carter, but he didn't come down like I anticipated that he would, but he has now, and we're lucky not to get spun there. We're around the outside of Johnson as well. But yeah, we can't let up at this point, we just can't. It's lap 50, but for my money, at the moment, we're out of sync with the rest of the field, or at least some of the field at the moment, because we took the 2 cans of fuel, we took the 4 tyres, and I'm not sure because of how many places that we lost underneath the caution that other cars have done that. So it's quite an interesting one at the moment. We're going well. As you can see, we're stretching the gap at the moment between us and Bush, who's still in second. But when is he going to pit? When are we going to pit? And what effect is that going to have on the race? Will there be other cautions? I would say there probably will be. So the story of this race is definitely not told at the moment, not one bit. Oh, look what we're trying to do here. This was a stupid move on my part. But that's how much confidence I had in the car at the time. I genuinely believed that we could make that work. And we did, but not as cleanly as I would have liked. So we cut all the way to lap 74 now. Quite a big cut this one because we were just circling at this point, not a lot was happening, but I decided to cut it here because this was the time where the car, the tyres and everything now was starting to feel really second hand. We've become really loose now. We've got a lot, and I mean a lot of oversteer. So this was a point in the race where things could get really interesting. As you can see, Wim really far ahead at the moment. And at this point I was in car management mode, just trying to conserve this place, but still at the same time knowing that at this point still I was out of sync with everybody else. But yeah, it was worth noting that the car now, you can see it there, it is all over the place. It is hard work to hold on to it, but passing that car there, as you saw with the smoke bellowing out of it, filled me with hope that if we can get in front of, it's not Bush now, I'm not too sure who was leading at this point. Bush there wanted to come up, but we were quick enough to stop him being able to do that. But as you can see now, we have indeed lapped the second place car. So we've lapped the entire field, so I was thinking now, bring that caution out now, we can get 4 new tyres, we can get the 2 cans of fuel, we can go to the end a lap in front of everyone else. But as you can see on the minimap, there would be no caution, so we're still having to run this handful of a car at the moment. Yeah, and just as the laps were ticking away, it was getting harder and harder and harder. I know we had an extremely loose preset on, but that was because of me anticipating the car handling like an absolute dog, but it hasn't. And as you saw there, we've had to take to the apron because of the oversteer, and bang, another driver error from me there, second race in a row now. Thankfully we have got that lead, and the gap is still just about now 1 lap. But yeah, that is a brilliant example there of how much of a handful this car has been And also the fact that, yeah, if I make a mistake, guys, you are going to see, I'm not going to cut them out and make out I'm the world's greatest driver. You'd know from my lap times anyway that that is not the case. You're just watching someone who's really enjoying a completely fresh new challenge to me and absolutely in love with this game at the moment. And I did not want to come down at that point, guys. I really didn't. But again, another example of the way the car was handling at that point, and it's kind of made things a little bit more interesting now, because we thought we might have been out of sync under the caution, but now we are completely out of sync and might be back at a point where we now might have to pray for a caution. We're having all of the tyres changed, we're putting in all the fuel, we're going to repair all the damage, because we drove quite well up until the car started handling like that. And my thinking behind these decisions were, we've got enough fuel to go to the end, the tyre wear's not that high around here, so the tyres should go to the end, and we're not going to have to do anywhere near the amount of laps on this set of tyres now that we had to do to get to this point. So we're in P11, but we've got a car now that even if the caution comes out, the car can go to the end. It is now just up to me to look after this car. We've proven we've got the pace in the car, so that's not really an issue. There is a big gap between us and the lead car. As you can see, we've gone from being a lap up to almost a lap down, but we've got 40 laps left. I believe we might have to be a little bit more aggressive, but we have got to take care of the car now, and that's why you just saw me there get right out of that nh5, and still, just for caution purposes, I've checked to see if we've got any damage, which we thankfully don't. So I believe we've still got enough pace in this car to at least get a top 5 out of this. Yeah, we don't know if there's not going to be another caution, which is highly unlikely. The guys who are in front at this point may have to do a green flag pit themselves. So yeah, the race, instead of fading out because we checked out of it, basically is now right back up in the air once again. And we're battling with Bowman here, who really brake checked us there, and once again we now have front end damage. I thought he was going to go clean around the outside there like he's doing now, and he didn't. He decided to get out of it and hit the brakes, because I was going to follow him through, but it's just one of them things that it is what it is. He's done it now, we've got the damage, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was when we had the smash into the wall, so we should be alright. Hamlin here now, we're going 3 wide with him and the car below as we make another pass there. And still at this point I was in disbelief about how well the car was handling around here. We squeeze a 3 wide moment again there, just showing the absolute confidence in the performance at the moment. And as you can see, and as I mentioned, we are gaining on the lead car rapidly, and we've still got a good number of laps to go yet as well. So this is definitely not over at the moment, guys, not by a long way. And we cut through now, just a couple of laps on, and as you can see we've just took P2 now, and there is the race leader. It's the Benedetto. He's boxed in at the moment, so we try and move around the outside. We've got around the lap car, and Benedetto is now coming into the pits, so we couldn't get him on track, but that's a bit unfortunate in a way. But he's now in pit road, and we have reclaimed our first place back. And at this point now, I was pretty sure that that's everybody back in sync, as long as our car does not play up now. And as you can see, I've got full confidence in it at the moment, as we went under and over one there. Ticked off another lap as well. Yeah, we are in a really strong position now. The car who's in second place is just come out of pit road by the looks of it. As we go down the middle there, it wasn't as clean as I wanted, but still a very, very satisfying move. And there's a hell of a lot of cars in front of our way now, as we once again would go a lap up on the field. The only other question left now is, are we going to have a big enough lead in the real deep waters of this race, or are our tyres going to be too old where we've got nothing left to defend with? But we're definitely not going to be thinking about that just yet, because the tyres are good at the moment. The car's still good, it's still quick, it's still doing what I want it to. And we only have 25 laps left. I don't know what Elliott was doing there, thinking he was going to get up the inside. He didn't manage it and he ended up sideways, and now there's another caution just as people have picked. So now what do we do here? For me, it might be worth keeping in mind that we are a lap up at the moment, just taking the tyres and taking the fuel. That's what I would do right now. But it would seem that when I was actually doing this race, I didn't decide to do that. We've stayed out. We've done nothing with the fuel, nothing with the tyres. And Jesus, it makes no sense now after watching this back why I wouldn't just take the tyres. At least the tyres, because the fuel, we've probably got more than enough fuel to get to the end of this race now at this point. But why did I not take the tyres? That could really come back to bite us by the end of this race, guys. We will have to wait and see, but for now everyone's bunched up, which is great. We've got plenty of clear air in front of us, at least for a couple of laps, but we're in a little mini battle here with the Benedetto. I should probably, again in hindsight, just have let him go instead of holding myself up. I have absolutely no value or nothing to gain by racing this guy. And what the hell has Hamlin just done there? That surely is going to be yet another caution now. Wow, that was a rash move from a really good driver. I would not have expected that from him. We were lucky to get away with that. And as you can see now, he seems to have got away with it, and it hasn't caused a caution, which is really surprising. Because all of those were bunched together there, because that's where it had happened. Yeah, we seem to be slowing right down at the moment. Oh man, I should have put those tyres down. But anyway, we cut on all the way to lap 120 now. The car's feeling a little bit worse for wear again. We're going to have to really nurse it through these last 4 laps. We're still in P1. I think we're 2 laps up at this point now, but you can see there, you saw it, I don't need to say anything at all. Did not want, need or expect a pit stop right here, and this is a byproduct of me not taking those tyres earlier. 18 seconds is how long we're going to be in here. I'm not too sure, I can't remember whether we were a lap or 2 laps up, but it is only a 17-second lap here for the quick cars, so this could make things extremely interesting now. Have we just threw away another race win here? We can go now. We're back on the track. We've had nothing at all gained from that pit stop. The car's still going to feel exactly the same. We go incidentally around to P2 there. We hit the wall. The red mist at this point had descended as I thought. I bottled another one. There you can see Blaney. We get round the outside, almost rubbing the door to door there. So at the moment now we are in the lead. We've got a lot of cars that we need to put between us and Blaney, because my car's not feeling great right now. We get through that pack there, that's going to help tremendously. Get it underneath Custer there. Go around the outside of Bush and everything, and you can see now this is not skill, driving and confidence with the car, this is aggression. I was not throwing this away for nothing. We've took the white flag in the lead. We're stretching the gap again on, was it, oh I forgot who it was. Oh, well, we're on the number 12 anyway. we come around, guys, and we get our first win of the season as a constructor. That is absolutely huge. I wanted to burn out here and I pressed the complete wrong button, so there will be no burnout, but there will be a race victory for us. It's come at a short track, it's come at a surprise. The car has been absolutely insane today. Oh, I am over the moon with that one. Once again, I thought I bottled it. We made it bloody difficult for ourselves, didn't we? But we got the job done in the end. That is all that matters. And in the next episode, we have got another short track. And at the moment, I remember finishing recording this, and I was like, let's get the next one done now while we've got the momentum. But that is, guys, gonna be it for this one. I hope you've enjoyed it. I can't believe we've bloody won. Get in there. It's moved us up to second in the championship now. It's a massive, massive confidence boost. But I'm gonna leave you with the celebrations and everything, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this one. If you have, smash that like button. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any future episodes. Comment down below what you thought of the race today and the win, the video in general. But other than that, I'm going to let you just drink this in while I'm going to do that myself as well, guys. And I will see you all in the next one. Thanks so much for your support again. It means a great deal. Bye, guys.